Getting prepared. Setting up the meeting. Okay, I want to assume that those who will be joining us via YouTube, they should be able to locate us right now. So today we are talking about letting your crypto work for you. So we start with some news. The first news is coming from Nigeria, that EFCC raises alarm over fraudulent investment scheme. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, is alarmed at the rate Nigerians sends petition to the commissions on fraudulent investment that promise high return with little risk to investors. The trends indicate that investment scams continue to thrive despite the enforcement and public enlightenment interventions by the Commission and other stakeholders. The direct implication is that helpless citizens are losing their hard-earned money to fraudsters, compounding the nation's economic woe. At least one thing we can assure you in this group is that you will not lose your money to fraudsters if you follow the guidance that you will be given, that many have lost and are still losing money to Ponzi schemes, forex trading, and most recently, Bitcoin trading. Yeah, you are not going to lose money to Bitcoin. Our focus is not Bitcoin trading. Our focus is investment into the digital economy. So not Bitcoin trading. You are going to invest in Bitcoin, not necessarily trade the Bitcoin. And when you invest in Bitcoin, you can't lose your money. The value may depreciate temporarily, but the overall worth of your Bitcoin remains exactly what it is. And it's a matter of time, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2 months, at most 3 months, it will come back to whatever it was as of the time you bought it. Yeah. It says, though risk-taking is considered by some as the oxygen that drives investment decision, the Commission wishes to warn the public against taking unmitigated risk in decision in desperation to earn a windfall. That investment in Bitcoin, for example, is a high-risk activity as the terrain is largely unregulated and prone to fraud. So this is a lie, another lie of the government of Nigeria to keep the people poor. Investment in Bitcoin is not highly risky. Trading Bitcoin for inexperienced people may be risky. And that's part of getting involved in a business where you have not been trained. Trading is a profession. There are people who have had years of training to be traders, and they can trade various forms of financial resources, which can include cryptocurrency, which can include stocks, which can include forex and other things like that. So our focus is investment in the digital economy, and Bitcoin happened to be number one. Yeah. So it's not highly risky as they make it to be. They have succeeded in banning people from trading digital currency. They have prevented them from using the banks to trade things legally, just to exchange their currency from one fiat to another. So despite that, they're also coming up at this point to harass the people in one way or the other. So that the EFCC, which is the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, wishes to state that while it will continue to investigate and prosecute persons complicit of fraudulent investment scheme, it is incumbent on the investing public to be circumspect in their investment decision. Any investment that promises return that look too good to be true should be considered a red flag. So Nigerians are by this notice warned to be wary of fraudulent scheme, and are hereby enjoined to resist the temptation of quick gain that could end in misery. That those who ignore this advisory do so at their own risk. If you are well taught and well learned in whatever you are doing, definitely you will be able to avoid the risks that are involved in it. So interestingly, I will come up with another news, and we're going to compare and contrast the two. And we will see how things are in various nations, especially when we look at the developed world and the developing world. Yeah. So this is a news from America that United States passes a resolution commending Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin. The news I have just read to your hearing from Nigeria was condemning investment into Bitcoin as a highly risky thing. Here you can see America, the father of all economy, commending Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin. Yeah, so that's a great thing. So this is the news that the United States of Louisiana has passed a resolution to commend Bitcoin for its success, as well as commend the cryptocurrency pseudonymous creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. So I want to assume that by now you should know that the person who actually created Bitcoin and the initial blockchain technology remain anonymous, and definitely either he was a person or a group of people, they actually have taken a very, very good decision, because if they had made themselves known, I'm sure by now they would have assassinated them. Yeah, so they took a very good decision. Yeah, for his contribution to economic security. So the United States of America see Bitcoin, sees blockchain as a contribution to economic security, while the EFCC of Nigeria see it as a contribution to scam or insecurity, while in America they see it as a contribution to economic security. So you can see the two mindsets of two different countries. Yeah. So that the state resolution recognizing Satoshi and Bitcoin. The Louisiana House of Representative resolution by Representative Mark Wright entitled Commend Bitcoin and the Cryptocurrency Industry. Can you see it? Commends Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency industry. It is an industry. It's a digital industry, which as of today is probably bigger than maybe even the whole economy of Africa. We're talking about 2.15 trillion. Yeah, before the end of this year, it will go beyond that. So they are commending digital economy, while in Africa, a country like Nigeria is condemning digital economy. So you can understand why they are where they are, and we are what we are by virtue of our predisposition to exactly the same thing. So has been enrolled and signed by the Speaker of the House. So this is the resolution. It's called House Resolution 33HR. It reads thus: resolution to commend Bitcoin for its success in becoming the first decentralized trillion dollars asset, and to encourage what? The states and the local government to consider ways that will help them benefit from the increased use of the new technology. So the state of Louisiana is trying to learn whatever they can learn. They also encourage their local government to learn how to use the new technology. Why in Africa, we are terrorizing our own people from learning how to use the new technology. We did not teach them. We did not make any effort to teach them. Out of their own volition, people have gone ahead to learn how to use this new technology. Yet, rather than commend them, rather than support them, we are threatening them in one way or the other. We are closing their bank account and so on and so forth. So you will see why some nations and some people will remain in poverty for the rest of life. The resolution proceeds to describe various attributes of Bitcoin, starting with its creation in 2008. Bitcoin had been in existence for 12 years, yet African nations are flexing muscle to close it down, to destroy it. Anyway, by pseudonymous author Satoshi Nakamoto, noting that the cryptocurrency could potentially replace gold as a monetary reserve. So this is a parliament of Louisiana telling you that, take note of this, cryptocurrency will replace gold as a monetary reserve. That the document highlights Bitcoin's finance supply. Don't forget that Bitcoin can only be a maximum of 21 million. By now, some of them have been lost forever. They will never be recovered. Yeah, so but let's still assume that we still have the 21 million. So as of today, there are over 52 million millionaires in the world. So even though if all of them should share it, the average that will go to one will be 0.5 Bitcoin. Yeah, so if you can be lucky and you as a person can secure 0.01, definitely you know that you have done something for yourself. Yeah, so please consider yourself lucky to be part of the 1% of the global population that is learning one thing or the other about cryptocurrency. So that the document highlights Bitcoin finance supply, and this, if we compare this to something like a Dogecoin, which is being hyped, the difference between Bitcoin and Doge is that the supply of Bitcoin is capped, and like most other cryptocurrency, but unfortunately that of Doge is not capped. So whoever behind it can wake up tomorrow and they say they have doubled it. Anyway, let's continue with our news. Noting that it is completely decentralized. Yeah. So this is what is making governments like that of Nigeria to be very, very angry about digital economy, because it is completely decentralized. They cannot decide who should benefit from it or not. They cannot say, oh, you are the only person who can import sugar, other people cannot. You are the only person who can buy Bitcoin, others cannot. Any human being can buy Bitcoin. And that's one of the things that's making some governments very, very angry, especially in some part of Africa. And allow for secure transaction without the need for a trusted third party. So you can do it on your own without getting a consultant approval in one way or the other. It additionally notes that not only has Bitcoin proven to be a critical tool for business, it has proven to be a critical tool for citizens. So I will be coming back to this in our next slide. So the Louisiana state sees cryptocurrency, sees Bitcoin to be critical, to be a critical tool for investments, for business. The Nigerian government and EFCC did not see that. They also see it as a critical tool for citizens. The Nigerian government, the Central Bank of Nigeria, did not see that. Around the world to protect themselves from currency debasement. So we look at our next, let me see. Okay, I'll come back to that later. So here are some questions we should ask ourselves. How many times has your government called you and told you how to invest and make money? They didn't teach you in primary school. They didn't teach you in secondary school. You went to the university, they didn't teach you. You join civil service, they didn't teach you. Now that you are learning to do some things by yourself, they started harassing you and closing your bank account and telling banks that they must not allow you to transact in it. How many times has your central bank called you and told you what stock to invest in? They say, oh, Mr. S, if you invest in this stock, you will make profit in 5 years' time. How many times have they told us that? They have never told us that. How many times have our government asked that the bank should give us money without interest, that we should use it to make investment? They have never done that. Have your government ever told you how to make money from the internet? Internet has been on for like 40, at least about 30 years now. How many Black people, how many Africans, how many Nigerians, how many Mosoto have made money from it? Yet it's only the white people that are making money from it. So if they cannot help us, they should leave us alone. Now, let me bring this to your awareness. Do you know that the American government gave money to their citizens? Can you see the word citizen is coming out? They gave money to their citizens to actually invest in the digital economy. You will ask me, how? Don't forget that there is what they call the COVID palliative stimulus. In Nigeria, all the governors, they stole COVID palliatives. They kept it, they want to use it for campaign. People discovered it. American government did not do that. American government actually gave out money to the people. Indirectly, what they were actually doing was that they were giving them money to buy Bitcoin and to invest into the digital economy. They gave the first round of stimulus. The second round, which is probably being distributed as we are talking, is about 2 trillion, which is almost the entire digital economy market capitalization. So in other words, the American government is giving out about $2 trillion so that Americans can actually use it to buy the entire digital market. So that at the end of the day, if it is possible, only Americans should own the digital economy. Please think about that. So what they call palliative or COVID palliative care is an absolute disguise. And it's actually a way of the government of America empowering Americans to take advantage of the global economy. Don't forget that they have their own economy, which is doing well. And now that the digital economy is a global economy, they are repositioning their own children so that they can have a lion's share of it. What are we doing? We're imprisoning our own people for trying to invest in the digital economy. So the question you may want to ask yourself is that why would the American government empower their citizens to go into the digital economy? Let me tell you. It is because the digital economy is a global economy, not just an American economy, not just North American economy, not just Europe economy. It's a global economy, and definitely they want to have a fair share of it. So they want Americans to have the largest shares of it. They will still create another COVID palliative, and indirectly they want the people to invest it into the digital economy. So don't forget that the weight of Americans is the weight of America. When Americans are prosperous, America is prosperous. So the government is doing whatever they can do to make Americans to be prosperous so that America can be prosperous. What are we doing? We are trying to make our people to be poor so that they will continue to be slaves and they will continue to oppress us and rule for 100 years. And after they are going, they can also hand over the government to their children and so on and so forth. So do you know, as of we are talking, that children of multimillionaires like Mark Cuban are already owing tokens? Children of millionaires, they are already having Bitcoin. They are already having Ethereum. 10-year-old children, 5-year-old children, they are already having that. So by the time they are 53, like me, or 54, then they have a lot of things to command. Why we are still struggling, we are still fighting ourselves in some developing world, saying that Bitcoin is bad, is this, and so on and so forth. Do you know that as we speak, some banks have agreed in Europe to keep their customers' token for them securely? So there are banks in Europe that are saying, if you have cryptocurrency, if you have Bitcoin, if you have Ethereum, come and save it in our bank custody so that it will remain secured. What are we doing in Nigeria? We are frozen the bank account of people who wants to buy Bitcoin. Why in Europe, they are creating system so that the banks can help to securely store the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency of their own citizens. So do you know that some governments are actually planning to buy Bitcoin if they have not already bought it? So there are countries now that are thinking that as part of their own national economy, they want to buy Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. So there are states that as part of their own state's economy, they also want to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. There are universities that have bought into that, and so on and so forth. So please don't be left out. Okay, so we go into our proper discussion for today. We are talking about how you can allow or you make use of your crypto to also work for you. So generally, there are three ways by which you can build wealth. One is that you work for yourself. You work to build wealth by working. So most of us will belong to this group. So we work, wake up by 6 o'clock, we come back at 6 p.m. And at the end of the day, we earn some salaries, which is just over broke. We save some part of it, and then we invest that part of it. So most of the time, we are the one who continue to work till finally somebody will tell us that we are too old and they don't need us again. We should go home and rest. So this is where majority of us, if possible, all of us that are here in this meeting belong to. Now, we could also, the another way by which you can build wealth is for people to work for you. So by this, I mean that you own a business and people are working for you in that business. You pay their salary. At the end of the day, like mine is being paid and like yours is being paid. Yeah. So what is happening is that those workers, they are doing the number one thing. They are working for themselves. And at the end of the day, whatever is left become a source of wealth for you. So invariably, people are working for you. Yeah. But at the same time, the third way by which we can build wealth is for our resources to be working for us. So the focus of our discussion today is how we can make our investment into the digital economy, our shares. We are shareholders in the digital economy. When I buy 0.000000 Bitcoin, I am already a shareholder in the Bitcoin.org company. Yeah, so please take note of that. So beyond having those shares, what we want to talk today is how do I also make those shares to continue to work for me? Yeah, so that maybe in some 50 years time, I will not have to be working for myself. Okay, it's all right. So your crypto, which are your digital resources, can work for you. And this is what we want us to know. So that primarily we buy digital assets, which are tokens or cryptos to appreciate. When we buy Bitcoin, when we buy Ethereum, our expectation is that it will appreciate. And that's what happened even in stocks. When you buy the shares of Lever Brother, when you buy the shares of Johnson and Johnson, and so on and so forth, you buy the shares of company that produce COVID vaccines, you expect that the shares will appreciate. Yeah. So whoever buys Bitcoin, ideally should expect it to also appreciate, because what you have just done is that you have bought a shares of Bitcoin. Yeah. So in the digital economy, there are various ways through which we can achieve this. These are a few of them. There will definitely be some others that probably are not here. Maybe I may not even be aware of, but everybody in this group needs to be aware of these following ways. So there is what we call savings. So when you buy Bitcoin and you are using a platform, let's say like Luno or Binance, most of the time what we do is that we just leave our Bitcoin there in the shares. We leave our Ethereum there and it just stays there forever, not doing anything. But the truth is that there is a way by which I can save that Bitcoin. I can save that Ethereum. So I will give it to the exchange as a loan, like I am giving a fixed deposit, a loan to the bank, and they will give me 0.000 something percent in the bank. Yeah. However, in the digital economy, you can have savings at times that could be as high as 12% over a period of 1 year, which is called the APY. Yeah. So you can save your tokens, and we will use Luno as an example of how to save our cryptocurrency. So you can also do it in Binance and many others. So you also have to find out the various platforms that can be used, in as much as I will give us some. So we can stake our tokens or our shares. When we talk about tokens, it looks like what we refer to as fixed deposit. So at times you may want to stake it for like 2 weeks. You may want to stake it for 1 month. You may want to stake it for 3 months, for 9 months, for 1 year, or indefinitely. So the longer the staking period, the higher the return that you are going to get on it. So let's say, for example, I stake my Zilliqa. I stake my Zilliqa. The number of Zilliqa I'm staking, which is X Zilliqa, will be there, 200. But at the end of every day, at the end of every week, or at the end of every month, this 200 Zilliqa will be generating some extra Zilliqa. So maybe at the end of a month, let's assume that it generates 4 Zilliqa. So if I'm using a platform like a CES.io, at the end of the month, they will add that 5 to my 200. So that at the beginning of a new month or a new cycle, which is usually 1 month, my total Zilliqa will be compounded. So the base will now become 205, no longer 200. So instead of generating maybe like another 5 in the following month, it's going to generate like maybe like 5.5 or 5.7. So by virtue of that, the overall number of Zilliqa that I'm having will be appreciated. And the more the number of people that stake a token, the higher will be the appreciation of those tokens, because not so many of them are moving around. Yeah. So that is staking. Most of the time, when we talk about staking, you get your reward in the same token that you have staked. So if I have staked Bitcoin, I get my reward in Bitcoin. As compared to farming, what they call yield farming. Yield farming is so similar to staking. Yeah, but the other thing is that you may elect to have your rewards as the token of that blockchain you are using. So let's say, for example, if I am using Celsius, I can agree that I want to be paid in CEL rather than to be paid in Bitcoin. So then we have what they call lock liquidity or liquid provision. I will talk about that in details. You can also borrow stable coins. We'll talk about that in detail. Then also there could be airdrop. So savings, that you leave your digital assets such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Kusama, and DOT. Yeah, so don't forget that these are probably the 4 most promising tokens outside there in an exchange. However, you'll be loaning it to them. So you don't need to talk to anybody. You can get interest either in the original asset, like Bitcoin to Bitcoin, like I earlier mentioned, or in the native token of the exchange or blockchain, let's say like a Bitcoin to say, so that's like farming. So where can you save your cryptos? There are so many exchanges that you can use. So you find out more. Yeah, but here are examples of where you can save your crypto. If you are using Luno, you will be able to save Bitcoin and Ethereum on Luno. And at the end of every month, they will pay you the small interest, which will become part of the principal. So the principal will be increasing, despite the fact that we expect the Bitcoin itself to appreciate. So we have Luno, we have Neso, we have CES.io, we have Binance, and many, many others. These are probably the few that I'm very familiar with. And we will actually use some of these, at least 3 of them, as an example in our discussion today. So in staking, you are locking up your asset to an exchange. It can be a decentralized finance, which is often referred to as DeFi, or a blockchain, which is like a company, for a period of time, so that they pay you back reward at specific interval. Staking period can range from 1 week to indefinite. So the longer you can stake your token, the better for you. Yeah. So when you are staking for 1 year, the rate of return will be higher than when we are staking for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. That reward intervals can be daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. Yeah. So there are places where you stake and you see your return daily. So for example, if you are staking on CES.io, you will see your rewards accumulating daily. So even though they are going to release it at the end of the month, but you can actually see it increasing daily. And when they release it at the end of the month, it becomes part of the principal. Yeah, so that your principal will now increase. So at times, the reward can be compounded automatically. So you don't need to do anything. You just leave it there. It accumulates automatically. So when you stake on CES.io, your rewards will be compounded automatically. If you stake on exchanges like Ascend S, your reward will be compounded automatically. Yeah, among others. However, there are some sites, some exchanges that what they will just do is to pay out your reward at the end of either the month, at the end of the week, or at the end of the quarter. If you want it to be staked, you will have to go back and log in, and then you restake it. So like Binance, which is the biggest exchange, if you stake anything there, you will have to go back from time to time to go and restake whatever you have been offered. Yeah. So it will not compound automatically, but in many others, it will compound automatically. So you will Google for various nodes. When we talk about nodes, we're talking of various platforms that can also be used to stake various crypto. So from time to time, we need to search out opportunities. Which one is paying higher? Yeah, which one is enable us to stake for a longer period of time, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So as for further discussion, we will use our Telegram group for that. Yeah. So, and I also encourage us also, if you know of other Telegram group or that reliable WhatsApp group that can be used, where you can get additional information. Please feel free to do so, as long as you know that you are getting accurate information. So yield farming, also referred to as liquidity mining, is a way to generate reward with cryptocurrency holding. In simple terms, it means locking up cryptocurrency and getting rewards. In some sense, yield farming can be parallel with staking, which we have explained. So, however, there's a lot of complexity going on in the background, and in many cases, it works with users called liquidity provider that adds funds to liquidity. Yeah. So in yield farming, most of the time you just put in just the coin alone, the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, and so on and so forth, and it continues to give some return. Yeah. The last one we'll be talking about today is what is called liquidity provision. Yeah. If you have ever bought a cryptocurrency, you will find out that to buy any token, you will need to pair one currency with another. For example, when you want to buy your first Ethereum, when you want to buy your first Bitcoin, you may have to use Naira to buy the Ethereum in Nigeria. You use Rand to buy it in South Africa. You use Maluti to buy it in Lesotho. You use dollar to buy it in Canada, in America, and so on and so forth. So that Ethereum will be paired with a fiat currency. Now, when you are now within the crypto space and you want to buy other forms, you want to buy Uni, you want to buy Kusama, you want to buy DOT, you want to buy Cell, you want to buy Silica, you will discover that on the exchanges, this token you want to buy will be paired to some other form of cryptocurrencies. Yeah. So depending on what you are having, you will choose the one you are having and use it to buy the cryptocurrency. For example, most of the time when I want to buy a token, I tend to look for the one that will give me the option of using a USD Theta or a USDC, which is called let's just say USDT Theta or USDC. So I tend to look for those ones that actually have the dollar pair. There are those who prefer Ethereum pair. There are those who prefer Bitcoin pair. But I, as a person, I just prefer the USD Theta. It helped me. I'm able to determine the value immediately. Yeah. So if you have visited some centralized exchanges, let's say like Binance, which are super rich exchanges, and they can afford many of these trading pairs, so they are already there. However, most of the time there are limits to the numbers of tokens they can list. So that's why centralized exchanges like Binance, like Coinbase, will not always have all the tokens. So they want to focus their energy and their resources on tokens that are well proven, which they know that they will not disappear after a week, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So for new exchanges that doesn't have so much resources, or for some type of exchanges which are called decentralized exchanges, Uniswap, it's the leading one. We have a PancakeSwap. Yeah. So maybe in our next discussion, maybe we will talk about the decentralized exchanges. We'll talk about how you use them and so on and so forth. Yeah, because you will also need to interact with them. Yeah. So let's take note of that. That may be our next discussion. So in decentralized exchanges, you will have diverse pair. You can convert your Ethereum to so many other types of a crypto. So maybe, for example, you want to buy Venus, and you may discover that maybe Venus is listed only in Binance, and you are having challenges signing up with Binance. So what you could do, you could go to some things like decentralized exchanges like Pancake, and you are able to buy it there. So what majority of these decentralized exchanges does is that they allow you and me to contribute to the various pairs which are available. So let's say, for example, let's take Uni, for example. There will be so many pairs for Uni. Uni USD Theta, Uni Ethereum, Uni Bitcoin, Uni against BNB for Binance, and so many. So what some of these decentralized exchanges does is that they allow other investors to also make contribution. So we are taking Uni as an example. Now, within Uniswap, they allow you and me to, let's say, come and deposit a pair of Uni and USD Theta. So in other words, you are going to buy Uni and you're also going to buy USD Theta. So you will provide an equivalent of both. Let's say, for example, $500 worth of Uni. So that would probably be like maybe about 12 Uni right now. So at the same time, you also make available $500 worth of USD Theta. So you will look for the Uni USD Theta on their pool, their liquidity pool, and you will contribute those two pairs to it. So that if anybody is coming to buy Uni or to sell Uni, part of what you have contributed becomes part of the money or the resources that is being used continually for those transactions. And millions of people make those contributions. So at the end of the day, you get something in return for it. So depending on the exchange, whatever you opt out, yeah. So that's what provides probably the highest return when it comes to the issue of our crypto working for us. But there are various ways by which you can use it. Yeah, it's a bit complex. Yeah, but down the line, we all have to learn it and see how we can use these various options so that at the end of the day, our money begin to work for us. If you have, let's say, let me use Zilliqa. Let's say you have about 10,000 Zilliqa, yeah, and you stake it on an exchange like CES. At the end of every month, 10,000 Zilliqa at about 20%, we give you about 200 Zilliqa at the end of the month. So if you leave it there for 1 year, that means 200 times 12. So you are going to get about 2,400. Am I right? Yeah, about. Let my mathematics be correct. That's something like that, about 2,400 at the end of 1 year. So at the end of a year of staking your Zilliqa on CES, you will now be having a total of 12,400 Zilliqa. So your 10,000 Zilliqa have given back to 2,400. So you can imagine leaving that there for like 5 years or like 10 years. So definitely you will know that in terms of absolute number, it will have grown up. And in terms of value, it will also have grown up astronomically. Yeah, so that's part of what staking does for us. Yeah, liquidity provision. So these are some examples of how to do that. So, sorry, this is supposed to be how to do it with a Luno. Okay, so we are starting with savings now. Yeah, so this is supposed to be probably the first slides. So practicing savings with Luno. So already we're assuming that you are having a Luno account. So if you are joining, if you are part of us in this discussion and you have not, you are not having any exchange accounts, I want to assume you are new. So as much as possible, we will encourage you to open an account with the cryptocurrency exchange of your choice. Yeah. On our Telegram group, GWC, we have pinned messages. Yeah, so as part of those pin messages, if you're able to access them, you will see lists of exchanges which we have earlier discussed and recommended. Yeah, so what you would do is that you're already having your money, maybe like as Bitcoin or as Ethereum. So for now, Luno allow you to save both Bitcoin and Ethereum, yeah, into your saving wallet, which you will have to create. So what you do is that you already have you have your Bitcoin. You have bought it with Naira or dollar or rands or Maluti. So what you will do is that when you log in, you will see these five zip icons or tax stuff displayed here. So what you should do is that you will go to profile. You will put your cursor on profile. You will click it. You will click profile. So when you click profile, it will bring out something like, yeah. So it will bring out something like this. So you will click on save. So you click on save. So when you click on save, it will take you to the currency you want to save. It will ask you how much amount you want to save. Yeah. So like this one now, this is a 0.002 something. Yeah. So you can, if you are saving all of them, which I will encourage you to do, if you don't have any other thing to do with it immediately, you will click on maximum. Yeah. So when you click on maximum, it will display the total amount of money or tokens you are having there. Then it will show this. So at this point, you will click on next. When you click on next, it takes you to something like this. Yeah. So here you will see something like this. No, come in. So it asks you to confirm that the amount you have selected, you really want to do it. So you will click on confirm. Then you will see something like this telling you that, okay, this money is moving from your conventional wallet into your savings account. Then when that happens, so depending on your security level, either you are using, at the end of the day, you will be expected to activate two Google authenticator factors, which we have discussed, I think, in our second meeting. So you can always Google that, and you can check YouTube for how to use it. So it will now ask you that you should put in your security word. So if you are using an email, they will generate a 6-digit number, which they will send to your email. However, if you have already activated your authenticators app, two factors authentication, then you will bring out your phone, you will go to Google Authenticator or whatever be the authenticator you are using. I use Google two factors authentication. Then you will click on Luno there, and you will see the 6 digits popping up. Most of the time, it appears as a blue color, at least on my phone, as blue color. After some time, it will turn to red. So if it turns to red, I would advise that you should just wait, let that one disappear, and let another one come, which will be blue, so that you will have time to input it. And once you input it, then automatically it will complete that transaction. So your S Ethereum or your X Bitcoin will have gone into saving. So at the end of every month, Luno will send a monthly reward to you. And they will tell it to you that, oh, your savings have earned so amounts. They will send it to you, both in your local currency and they will send it in either Ethereum or Bitcoin, depending on what you have saved. But they will also give you a quote on your local currency. So, and that will become an addition to your savings. If it does not add to it automatically, then you go and repeat the same thing, and then you keep on saving. Yeah. So before you know something, at the end of 1-2 years, you discover that your investment will have grown numerically in terms of a number, and also it will have appreciated in terms of capital. Yeah. So at the end of the day, when you transfer that, it show you this, done, and then you are fine. So for ces.io, when you Google, you put ces.io on the website and your Google or whatever browser you are using, it will take you to their homepage. So on their homepage, look for you will be expected to create an account with them. Yeah, so you need to create accounts. Accounts are free, so you go ahead and create an account. Once you've succeeded in creating the accounts, I'm not so sure if CES does a verification, but if it does verification, then you verify yourself. Yeah, using your email or using your phone, or if possible, some additional government issued document. So you will search for on their website after you have log in. Look for AN. There's something that will say ces.io AN. So you click on AN. So when you click on AN, it will bring out these two icons that we are saying. One is go to saving. So if you click on go to savings, the other process will be like what we have described on a Luno as an example. Yeah, but where you have the option of saving and staking, I will encourage you to go for staking. Yeah, it's true that it will be locked up indefinitely or for some time, but you will have a better return at the end of the day. And one beautiful thing about ces.io is that your staking can be indefinite. You just leave it, you go and sleep, come back after 2 years to come and see what has happened to it. Even though at the end of every month, they will send you a summary of what has happened. I think they send out their notification on the 2nd of the new month of what has happened and what you gain and how they have added it to the period. So you are going to click on go to staking. So when you click on go to staking, it will bring you to this site. So these are the various coins which are available. So for example, there's something called Freetom. If you stake Freetom, so your reward is going to be at 12%. As of currently, if you stake Zilliqa, so if any of you is having Zilliqa, I think the best place you can stake your Zilliqa is CES. So just go to them, open the accounts. You now click on deposit. So when you click on deposit, it will generate the address which you will use, and then you can send it from wherever your Zilliqa is and send it here. I have Zilliqas lying on some exchanges for months, weeks, years, without anything generating until I discovered that I can actually stake it here. Yeah. So at least at the end of every month, it gives me some SZIL, and that's increased little by little. Yeah. So if what you're having is ontology, you click on deposit to ontology. If what you're having is Tezos, you click on deposit to Tezos. If it is Polkadot, you click on deposit to Polkadot. Yeah, and so on and so forth. You can leave it there. So we have others. We have Neo, we have Matic, we have Cosmos, we have Cardano, we have MetaHash, and we have Tron. Yeah, so these are various things that are available for staking on CES. So if your coins is not available there, then you search for where you can locate it. So for example, I've used Neo as an example here. So you will click on where's Neo here. Okay, it's here. So you click on deposit Neo, then it will take you to this. So you copy the deposit address here, you copy it, then you go to the exchange where your Neo is, then you click on withdraw at the other side, and you invariably transfer it here, and immediately it enter here, it starts counting from that point. Yeah. So, but if for any reason, let's say that you are not having any of these existing tokens, but you have had a look at it, say, "Whoo, MetaHash, you are going to give me 20% return," or you say, Slick, you are going to give me 20%. So what you can do is that instead of clicking on deposit, you can click on buy. So if you click on buy, it will take you to another page. Then they will ask you, how do you want to buy? Do you want to transfer money? Do you want to use your debit card? Do you want to use your credit card? Then you're expected to pick the one you want to use. Let's assume you are using a debit card. So you're going to put the details of the debit card there, and you determine the amount you want to buy, and you pay at the end of the day, and you will be credited with the equivalent of the token you have used. Yeah, so this is a practice with Binance. So if you're having Coin S and you want to stake it or save it in Binance, so don't forget that when you have the options of the two, you should go for staking. Yeah, give you a better reward. So when you log in into your Binance, this will be like your welcoming page or your home page. So what you should do, you should click on wallet. You can see the wallet icon here. Yeah, I'm sure you can see my mouse. So you click on wallet. It will bring down some drop down. So you click on fiat and spot. So when you click on fiat and spot, it takes us here. Then what you do is that on the extreme left, you will see where it is written and. Yeah, because you want your crypto to earn you some extra stuff. So you are going to click on and. So when you click on and, it will bring you to this page. So on this page, at the topmost part, you will see it says products, history, Binance stocking products, lock stocking history. This for those who have done it before, so you can see the history. So what you are going to do is that you are going to put your cursor on Binance staking products. Binance staking products. So like I'm doing now, you will put your cursor there, it will turn to the hands, and then you will click on it. So when you click on it, it will take you to this point. So you will see the list of various coins which are available for staking. So an easy thing you can do is that you can come here, which says display available only. Because there are times you will see some tokens, they are displayed, but they have already been exhausted, so they are no longer available. So what you can do is that you click on, you tick this place so that it filters out tokens which are no longer available. So yeah, you click on that. So it shows you tokens that are available. So for example, let's say Avas. Let's say you are having Avas and you want to stake Avas. So they will expect you to have a minimum of 0.1 Avas. You can have more. And for Avas here, there are 4 options. You can stake it for 15 days. You can stake it for 30 days. You can stake it for 60 days, for 90 days. Most of the time, the 90 days quickly get exhausted. Once they list it within 3-4 days, most people have gone for the 90 days because they want it to have the highest return. And at the same time, they don't just want to come back and be restaking and restaking. Yeah. So one of the challenge or limitation you have with Binance is that most of the time, the 90 days will have been picked. You get there for some coins. It's only 15 days that's available. So every 15 days, you have to go back and restake and restake. And at times, they release your coin. After 15 days, when you check it, it is no longer available. Yeah. So as on and so forth. So I would advise where all of them are available, pick 90 days. So you click on 90 days. 90 days will be highlighted, like we're having this one highlighted now. Then you will come here and click on stake now. If you click on 90 days and 90 days is already sold out, then it will tell you it is sold out. So the next thing you do is that you check for 60 days. If it is sold out, you come to 30. If it's sold out, you come to this. And at times, actually, nothing is available. Yeah, so at that time, you go and look for some other platform to use, or you come back and check if they are available. So you click on stake now. Yeah, so when you click on stake now, it now brings you to this page. Yeah, so for example, this is OAS that we're using as an example. So you click on maximum 90 days. So if it's available, this one will be highlighted. So you can see 90 days is highlighted now. So it means that it is available. Then you should stake all your coins, definitely. So you click on maximum, you click on this maximum, and after you have clicked on this maximum, it will pull all the token you are having. Let's assume that you are having 1,000 of OAS. So it will pull all the 1,000 to this point. So it will show 1,000. Then you will come to this part of it, which here you will see the day you are starting, the day, the 90 days will end, the interest will end, and so on and so forth. You will now come down here, which says, I have read and agree to Binance staking services. You will click it, you will tick it. So when you tick it, this part, which says confirm deposit, will become active. So finally, you will click it, then it will lock your token for that period of time. Yeah. So these are great decentralized finance. We often say DeFi. DeFi means decentralized finance that you can use. We have Nezo. I'm not. I guess I'm not sure if I can get a list of what Nezo have. But Nezo have a lot of great stuff. Yeah, actually, the top four, or let me say these are like what I would say, maybe like the top 6. Yeah. So Nezo give you great opportunity. We have a SwapFi. We have BlockFi. Unfortunately, I've opened BlockFi account. I have not been able to complete the verification. It's quite challenging to do their verification. They tell you, turn to the left, turn to the right, look to the up, look to the up, come near, go far, and so on and so forth. It can be quite challenging. Yeah, I have not succeeded in finishing that, but I will go back again. Yeah. So that I have my Nezo working well, SwapFi, they are finalizing the activation. Celsius is working well. I have an Avi account. I opened it at the time. What I saw there was not so encouraging, so I left it. But I will go back again and check what they are having again. So if I have any good stuff there, which I have, I will just have to stick it. Also Compound. So these are, if you are going to pick only 6, you will be fine with this. They are big, well-trusted establishment, well secured, at least within the context of human security, and so on and so forth. So you will have to explore all this one. I will advise you, if you really want to do something great, open an account with all of this and see which one is available, which is not available, and so on and so forth. So one beautiful thing about Celsius is that when you deposit your crypto into Celsius, it gives you the option of getting your payout either in CEL, which is their native token, or in the original token that you have deposited. So let's say, for example, you are depositing Polkadot. You are depositing DOT. It will give you the option that, do you want to be paid in DOT or you want to be paid in CEL? What I do is that I opt for being paid in CEL. And the reason is this. If I am paid in CEL, I get additional 25%. Yeah, so I get additional 25% over what it would have been normally if I am being paid in Polkadot. So the way they do it is that they calculate the absolute value over the period of a week. So if Polkadot goes up in that week, then your reward will go up. If it crashed like it did in the last 10 days, your reward will crash. But don't worry. This is part of the sinusoidal way of investment. It happens everywhere. Prices of petrol go up, prices of petrol come down, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I have opted for being paid in CEL. So in other words, what I am doing here is I am farming CEL. So I'm not going to buy sell token. Yeah, but whatever token I have, which sell accepts, they will be giving me sell in return. So maybe at the end of a year, you may be surprised that you are already having like, maybe let's just say like a 52 sell. Yeah, they pay out every week. And when they pay out, they send you an email to tell you. Yeah, so depending on the resources you are having, if it is big, you have big return. If it's small, you have small return. Yeah, but there's nothing too small to be invested. Yeah, even though if it is only 10 dot, you are having 5 dot, go and put it there and let it begin to work for you. Yeah, so in all of these DeFi, various tokens give various return. So for example, there are a group of tokens which are called stable, the stable coins like USD Theta, USDC, USD Binance. Yeah, so these are cryptos that have been tied to some existing currency. It can be British pound, it can be American dollar or euro, and so on and so forth. When you deposit stable coin, that's one of us who loves stable coin. So when you deposit, let's say for example USD Theta, the return you will get may be as high as 12%. No bank is going to give you that. So you just put your USD Theta there. If you want it if you want to have your reward in USD Theta, they pay you back in USD Theta. So let's assume that you are having $100 worth of a USD Theta. So it means that at the end of 1 year, you will have gained like $12. Yeah, which is good enough compared to what the current bank will give you. Yeah. So, but I prefer to stake tokens that we appreciate in value. Yeah, but when you are staking stable coins, the return is higher than when you are staking a token that we appreciate. Yeah, so that's about that. So these are other great exchanges where you can stake. It's supposed to be which are safe to stake or lock up liquidity. Yeah, so we have CES, I've mentioned it again and again, which I've used as an example. We have Binance.com. Yeah, most time you cannot be in the crypto world without interacting with Binance.com. So if you are not yet having a Binance account, you will need it. So please go and open it. So if you are having Ethereum, one of the best places for you to stake your Ethereum is called Ankry.it. So as of today, as a way of improving the quality of Ethereum and ensure that you continue to appreciate, there is what is called a ETH.20. Yeah, so in ETH.20, what they are saying is that whoever have Ethereum, come and deposit it with us. Whoever have Ethereum, come and deposit it with us. So there are various platforms that are doing that. Yeah, so the one that I'm a bit familiar with is called Ankry.it. Yeah, so if you have a minimum of 0.5 half a Ethereum, 0.5, then they allow you to stake minimum of 0.5 and upward. So for you to be able to stake this, you will need a decentralized wallet. So maybe, for example, like MetaMask. Yeah. So when we'll be talking of decentralized exchanges, maybe we'll do that by next week. Things you will always need is called, one of the wallets is called MetaMask. There are other wallets. We have a Trust wallet. We have a SafePal. We have Atomic and many others. Yeah, which you will need to interact with decentralized exchanges. So if you are having it, you can move it to either MetaMask or a Trust wallet, and from there you can link it up with Ankry.it and you can save your it. So we have other exchanges, great exchanges like Ascend-S. Yeah, there are a lot of wonderful things you can stake there. We have Uniswap, which is the biggest decentralized exchange. So if we are going to talk of decentralized exchange, we're going to start with Uniswap. So that I will encourage you to just go to Google, put in how to use Uniswap. and you will get a lot of things. After Uniswap, the number 2 is Pancake. Yeah. So as we interact, Pancake Swap, yeah. As we interact with decentralized exchanges, you cannot do without these two. So the other you get familiar with the two of them, the better. We have 1inch. Yeah, 1inch is another good one. And there are many, 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 many more. Yeah, we cannot just list all of them. Yeah. Yeah. So finally, another way by which your money can work for you is through what I call borrowing from your accounts. So when you open an account with any of these guys here and many more, your money, your Bitcoin is there, your Ethereum is there, your Polkadot is there, your Uni is there, and so on and so forth. So as the value of your overall portfolio increases, let's assume that it increases from, let's say 1,000 to 2,000 or 4,000 to 10,000. There is something they will do for you. They will create a column for you, which will show you how much of stable coin you can borrow based on your investment with them. So my advice is that, please, if you want to borrow only stable coins. Don't borrow coins that appreciate. Borrow only stable coins. So USD Theta and so on and so forth. So let's assume that I have an account with, let's say, Nezo. Yeah. And they will put it there that based on this my assets, I can borrow S amount of a stable coin. So let's just make an assumption now. I'm a big guy and I can borrow $1,000. So do I borrow this $1,000 to buy Papa? No. So how do I use it? This is how to use it. At times, there may be a new IPO, initial public offer, or an ITO, initial decentralized offer. So for example, there is a new token that will be released anytime from now. I don't know when it's coming out. That token is called KILT. Write it KILT. The day they release KILT, any money you have anywhere, go and gather it and use it to buy KILT. It's going to be on the Polkadot platform and it will do very well. So let's say, for example, the day they release KILT, I am not having money. And I don't want to harvest money from any of my other accounts. One thing I can do is that I can quickly go to Nezo, to Compound, to BlockFi, to SwapFi, or Celsius. I can look, how much can I borrow here? I can borrow $1,000. I can quickly borrow that $1,000 and take it to either Binance or Uniswap and use it to buy the KILT token or the S token. So what I would do is that as S token appreciates, maybe I bought $1,000 and after like 3 months, it appreciates to 2,000. So one thing I can do is that I can sell 50% of it to end up in 1,000 and return it back to Celsius or Avi or Compound, and I use it to pay back that $2,000 I borrowed. And yeah, so by virtue of that, at least I have traded. In fact, there's what we call flash loan. There are people who actually borrowed it and just use it for like 1 hour and they just return it. They use it for like 1 day and they just return it. People who are very good in studying the market, they know, this guy is going to move in the next 24 hours. They pick the money, they buy the new token accelerates, and they just sell it and come back and pay without even paying any interest at times. Yeah, so that's how we can borrow from our accounts to do that. So then finally, one of the ways by which our token can also work for us is through what is called airdrop. So when we talk about airdrop, we are talking of free tokens which are given to people. So there are various parameters that are being used to give free token airdrop, and it varies from time to time. Yeah. So, for example, one of the greatest free airdrop that I know was what is called Uni. Uniswap is the biggest decentralized exchange. And they started with the first version, Uni version 1. So when they migrated to Uni version 2, they did something that, to the best of my knowledge, no other person, no other exchange have done. Yeah, so I consider them as the most generous exchange on earth. Every human being who have ever interacted with their exchange, by September, October 2020, they gave them 400 units of Uni. As of today, right now, as we are talking, that 400 units is equal to 500K, 500 kilogram USD. You can imagine that you got it and you did not blow it, you didn't spend it, you didn't convert it, you will be having this. Now, if this is all you have in your crypto journey, I want to believe that you are made. Yeah. So airdrop comes in various forms. Most of the sometimes an exchange will just decide to give airdrop to people who are using them frequently. The people who use them every day, every week, every month, they just decide to give some airdrop to them. Or at times, there are new tokens, new blockchain that are just coming up. Nobody have known them, so they are not known. So as a way of making themselves a bit popular, one thing they could do is that they could just say, oh, we want to be listed on Binance. And because of this, as a way of encouraging Binance to accept them, they will say, we will give 200 token to everybody who trades on Binance that own Binance coin. And they'll just give it to you as free. Yeah. So the parameter they use varies. Yeah, but one that is a bit constant is when you interact with the decentralized exchanges. Yeah. So from time to time, in as much as the gas fee can be high, I will encourage you interact with Uniswap. Maybe by next week we will do that. Interact with PancakeSwap and many other swaps. So yeah, I have some 20 lists of decentralized exchanges you should interact with. Sorry, from time to time, so that if any airdrop is coming, you can always benefit from it. So how do you make your crypto work for you through airdrop? So that occasionally you hear information that a certain airdrop is coming for people holding a specific coin on a specific exchange or wallet. So, for example, let me give you an example. After Uni gave up the 400 token, another exchange was coming up, which is called 1 inch. One, then inch as in inch in measurement. So what happened was that there was this constant rumor that most likely what Uni did, that 1 inch, we most likely do it. Yeah, okay. So what did I do? What I did was to go and look at how to use 1 inch. I interacted with it in one way or the other. I bought a few tokens with them, maybe just like maybe less than $500. Yeah. So lo and behold, I used Uni. I used 1 inch. Lo and behold, there was a day I was just reading through Twitter, and I saw that 1 inch has given out airdrop. And interestingly, I went to check and I was given some, which I am still holding today. Yeah, so that happened. So even right now, as we are talking, the truth is this: I've had a rumor And I'm not saying go and buy it, please. But I had a rumor that Venus, there's a token called Venus. So the ticker is SVXVS. That's anytime around the 15th of May, they may release some airdrop. I don't know whether it is true or not, but it's a rumor. However, activities around Venus XVS is probably showing that it may be true. Yeah. So what I was told is that anybody who have about maybe at least one XVS and they have bought it through PancakeSwap may end up getting an airdrop. So what did I do? What I did was, okay, I put some BNB into my Binance Smart Chain account, and I swap the BNB for some Venus token. Yeah. So either they give airdrop or they don't give airdrop, I don't lose anything. Yeah. Even though I bought just about 2 Venus, I bought 2. When I bought it, it was $75. Because of that rumor, it has moved from $75 to $100. Yeah, maybe I will just show you what has happened. So based on those price actions, I am assuming that that rumor may be true. Yeah, so I will wait. If by the end of May, they give me 10 version of another token, yeah, then that is free and it's there. And it's probably by virtue of my existing crypto, which is SVS, that is qualifying me to get the other one. Yeah, so by and large, these are the few ways by which I know that we can put our crypto to use. So please feel free to learn more from other ways and so on. Yeah. So before we leave, I just want to be sure that you have done this. You already have an exchange account. Yeah. These are accounts that I highly recommend. Binance, you can't go the crypto journey without interacting with Binance. So it's basically you must have a Binance account. KuCoin is great, it's good. BuyLazy, I love BuyLazy because when some tokens have just been released and they're only available on Uniswap, and on those occasions that gas fees are so high, you want to buy a 200 watt of a token, and the swap is telling you that you are going to pay 150, you will just cancel that transaction. So what I do is that for such token, I constantly check BuyLazy or MXC to see if they have listed them. As soon as they list them, I will just go to there and go and buy it rather than pay a 100 to 200 gas fee, which is more than the token you are buying. You better go here and get it there. So we have Luno, it's a great exchange. We have Coinbase for guys in America and Canada. Definitely you need Coinbase. Yeah. So for DeFi, yeah, we have talked about Nezo, BlockFi, SwipeFi, Celsius, RV, and Compa. Yeah, if you really want to get some good returns from the existing crypto or the one you will buy later, you need to interact with this guy from time to time. I will encourage you to open a Twitter account. You need it. Fast communications about digital economy crypto are being shared on Twitter. So initially, there was a time I listed some guys we should follow. Yeah. So maybe in one of our meetings, we will talk about Twitter and Telegram. So maybe in 2 weeks' time, we may do that. If I forget, please remind me how you are going to use Twitter to get information, how you are going to use Telegram to get information. Yeah, then definitely you need to follow some guys on YouTube. Yeah. I think I have recommended about 4 of them for us. Yeah, there are guys that when they give you information on YouTube, either the information is a hype or not, we discover that some things begin to happen. Yeah. So we have guys like Elliot Waves. We have a guy of Coin Bureau. We have Evans. yeah, Evans. We have Chico Crypto, and we have other guys like BitBoy. Yeah, though I don't really follow BitBoy. Yeah, so but those one I've mentioned, I do follow them. So in this journey, please, you will need a Twitter account. So go and open a Twitter account. This is free. For you to be part of this group and benefit maximally from this group, you will need to interact with our Telegram group. So you need the Telegram group. You need a TG. Yeah, our Telegram group is a GWC. Yeah, so for those who are listening to us on YouTube, on Zoom, yeah, if you have not joined, you can just, if you have a Telegram account, you can just type GWC there and search for it. I'm sure it will pop up and you can follow us. Yeah. So, so we are here to help you and to help one another to grow. Yeah. So when I put some information on the TG group that considering buying this, considering buying that, I will encourage us as much as possible to give them some consideration, because most of the time before I put some of those things there, yeah, we'll have some information or some interactions, which shows that most likely those things will do well. Yeah. So if there are specific things that you want us to discuss in this group, please put them in our Telegram group, GWC, and we'll start the discussion there. Then we can always scale it up to this. So I want to encourage you to open an exchange account if you have not had one. Share your success and your challenges on the Telegram group to encourage others. If you have challenges, please reach out for help. Yeah, and if you need to clarify some information, let's use the Telegram group. And if you know of any opportunities, inform us also. And please feel free to invite others to the Telegram. So by and large, I think this is what we have for today. Thank you so much. So at this point, please, if you're having questions on the Zoom, feel free, you can unmute yourself, you can raise up your hand. And for those who are joining us via YouTube, you can type in your questions, so we will monitor it. And then, yeah, we will try our best to answer it. Oh, great. Thank you so much for your time. I guess we'll be here for how long now? For 1 hour, 30 minutes or more? Yeah, so we'll be here for 1 hour, 30 minutes. But I want to believe that it's going to be a 1 hour, 30 minutes that you will never regret of. Yeah, because from this moment, your crypto will begin to work for you. When you are sleeping, when you are watching the TV, when you are cooking, when you are at work, your crypto will continue to work for you. You're welcome. So I'm waiting for your questions.
Thank you very much, sir. Everyone who is joining. This is great insight. And I just want to thank God that one of the things you talked about Celsius.
Celsius, okay.
I have an account with Celsius. And
oh, great.
And I was even doubting about their sell, if even that one can go.
I guess my payout in sell.
And the question would be, and in the past few weeks, I learned about another cryptocurrency that is still in the process. It's called Pi.
Pi.
Can you?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely I belong to a group where guys were talking about Pi. Yeah. So, but I don't have Pi. Yeah, but you can read about it. And, yeah. But I'm aware that there's Pi, and I have groups where people are excited about Pi. Yeah. So, but as much as possible, as we put some of our money into the low, very, very low one, we shouldn't forget to also put it in the middle one, the middle cap and the high cap, just to make sure that they balance out. Yeah. So you can read more about Pi, and then I may search my other Telegram group to find out if they are mentioning anything about Pi. Yeah. So I don't know about it.
I came across an app that they call a mining app for
Yeah. There are those mining app, and I have guys that are into it. Yeah. And so, but most times I don't do some of those mining because it's either they are using the processor of your phone or they are using the processor of your computer to do some of those things. Yeah. So we do some business which I'm not disclosed here. I don't do so much of this. So just read more, find out more about it. Go and join their Telegram group. Then interact, see what people are discussing in their Telegram group. And then if you think you are fine with it, then you get some pie. I will also read the pie after, and if I think it can go, if I get extra $5, $10, I can put it there. Yeah, but for now I don't have pie. There are over close to 7,000 crypto, so you can have everything. But just make sure that in all you're having, you have some Bitcoin, you have some Ethereum, you have some Polkadot, you have some Cardano, you have some Kusama, and so on and so forth. Yeah. In addition to all that, the other small. Okay. So let me check the chat. If okay, there's no question on the chat on YouTube. I'm not sure if we have questions on YouTube. I'm just trying to check YouTube if there are questions there. Yeah, so if there are no questions from YouTube at this point, I think we will stop here. So we thank God for the opportunity to discuss finance, to discuss investment, to discuss digital economy, and to see how we will take advantage of it. Don't forget that cryptocurrency had been on, this is the 12th year, and yet there are people who don't know anything about it. They've never heard about it. Yeah, so please, let's consider ourselves privileged to find ourselves in a place where we can have accurate and correct information. And as much as possible, we'll just try our best to make use of it and to ensure that we give you accurate and correct information at every time. So till we meet in a meeting like this, maybe next week, let's continue to interact in our Telegram group. And let's make sure that throughout this week, every token you are having, wherever they are, look for a place where you can lock them up, you can stake them, you can save them, so that they begin to work for you from this moment. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you're having any other question after we have end this meeting, please post it on our Telegram group and we will address them there. Okay. To exit YouTube first. If this one. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So you can end it.